What is up? What is up, fight fans? I know we got the real diehards trickling in today because Matty and I made a last-second pivot because we decided there's a big game tonight. NBA Finals Game 1, Knicks Spurs should be an awesome series. A lot of our fans are not just MMA fans, they're sports fans. So we're like, let's get out of the way. Let's not compete with a big game like Game 1 of the Finals. We'll do it now so you guys can join us live here, and then you guys will be able to catch the game afterward. If you end up not getting on, we'll have an immediate replay available on YouTube and all that good stuff so you can join in. But we are ready to go. We're going to, on today's show, we're going to break down UFC Vegas 118. So my name is, of course, Austin Swaim. I'm a senior multimedia analyst for Home of Fight, as well as joined by the man behind Home of Fight, the man who runs it all, Matty Betts, the long shot legend. Matty, how you doing this evening, man?
I'm good, bro. I like this card. I actually like this card a lot.
I do too. I was a little surprised to like uncover that, given that it's an Apex card the week before the UFC White House card. I expected it to be total dog shit. So really pleasantly surprised that it wasn't.
For sure, bro.
Yeah.
We'll bring the guys. We're gonna do the trivia soon enough. Don't worry. That's gonna be.
We definitely are gonna plan. Right now, Matty. We haven't even talked about it, but let's plan on doing a trivia show for UFC White House. It's like a celebration of UFC. It'll be a big week next week, so we'll have a trivia show next week.
I'm actually going to Vegas for the White House card. We're going to the Tailgate Beach spot. It's like the new Circa. It's like a pool and big TVs and stuff. So Hayden and I are going.
That is about as sick as it gets. I know they have like those Cosm places that you can see it live. Like that would be probably pretty sick for a White House card. Like, but other than that, really not open to the general public. We'll have a lot of men and service women that are there ringside, but the rest of us can't get clearance onto the White House lawn. But we'll bookmark UFC White House for now. Move on to UFC Vegas 118. It should be a pretty quick show today because we only have 12 fights compared to the normal 13. I love that shout out from Jason. Great hat, Matty, rocking the Home of Fight merch. They got a lot of new stuff for the White House, as well as you guys will hear from our. You got me addicted to repacks. Yeah, we will talk packs. We'll talk Home of Fight merch. We'll talk all this cool stuff, as well as the fights, and maybe come up with a lay as we go through here. But
we already got a super chat already, bro.
Let me read the first intro and then we'll read the super chat. You guys know the drill around here. Remember, if you send in your parlays via super chat, Matty will potentially buy into your lay if he likes it a lot. You'll be staked half and half and might be able to win a nice little bit for that $5 message you send in. But intro for the first fight of the night, women's strawweight, Ketlin Souza taking on Ariane Carnelossi. This one has all the makings of first fight of the night, women's strawweight hijinks, right? Ketlin Souza here, a minus 310 favorite over Carnelossi. Both these women identical 3-3 UFC records, Matty. So is there any value on the dog, or you think Souza finds a way to get it done here?
I like Souza, but I like her when she's fighting girls that don't have a crazy reach on her, and I think here she actually has a better reach.
She does, which is rare for her. And she's listed 5'3", bro. I don't think she's 5'3". I think that's very generous. But I of note to our show, we got Armin chiming in with his super chat. He's going with Junior Tafa KO, Brito fight and sub, and then Bruno Silva decision as well. So that's a good, strong entry first in. And our guy Big Maple Bets checking it. We sweated it twice last weekend, bro. He was so close. He had Kaya Sakura round 1, Sergey Pavlovich round 1, Song Yadong round 4, and unfortunately Davison Figueiredo found the door. So that was too bad.
Crazy, bro. That was
I think it was a great read as well, but Big Maple's always doing.
He just needed Son inside the distance, and it would have hit big.
Let me read through. So he's got Jordan Levitt decision, Ferris Ziam KO, Marcus McGee sub at 77 to 1.
McGee's sub is so sneaky, bro.
Yeah, we'll talk about Marcus McGee in that fight. That is a interestingly long lay for those three outcomes tied together. So that's always Big Maple. He's snuffing the board.
I didn't even think about McGee's sub. I was looking for other subs. I didn't even think about that one.
Yeah. But what do you think about, so in general, Souza, she's minus 310. I got to be honest, dude. I was just checking Hard Rock before we came on here. I can't believe a number in this fight, and I'm going to be all over it based on my model result.
Yeah. Sorry, I got distracted. Say that again, Bill.
I said I couldn't believe one of the numbers I saw at Hard Rock with this, and I'm going to be all over it. With the
on this fight?
Yes, dude. Ketlin Souza sub is plus 750, which seems fucking absurd to me. With how we've seen Carnelossi tap. Really, Lupe Godinez was the one girl that did not get her out of there, but we saw Carnelossi tap in round 3 by Alan Carr only loss by finish or only win by stoppage for Alencar in UFC. And then also we saw her finished on the mat by Angela Hill. So I think she
that was a doctor stoppage, right?
Yes. And so, I think she really struggles with grappling defense, 22% takedown defense. It was a tough last fight for Ketlin because she had to go against Bruno Brazil. We talked about it with Loma last week where Bruno's not very good, but she is very big, and it presents these unique challenges to these opponents at strawweight. I think Souza might be able to get her ground game going here, and she got a rear naked choke. It was a club and sub of Hasmin Hayargi. I can't believe I'm pretty sure I just butchered Hasmin's name, but whatever. We haven't seen Hasmin in a while. It feels like she's been on the shelf for quite a bit, but but I also think Souza probably has the advantage at distance here. Remember, Carnelosi, I think her record's a little bit padded. She had that DQ against Piera Rodriguez with the headbutt that it looked like she was losing that fight potentially by finish. So I like Ketlin to win here, and I couldn't believe the submission was so long when I think Ketlin might be able to get her back and get it done.
Bro, there's like 4 or 5 potential subs on this card.
Yes, we have a good formula for. I think there's a lot of violence in general, so I think we have a good formula for how you and I like to bet cards with props and with cycle parlays potential. But we can't even keep up here. Why don't you read this super chat? We got another super chat.
Super chat from Lord Danky. Bilal decision, Shabazi and KO. Bryce sub 53-1.
Wow, Bryce subs a lot of confidence, and then we have another one here. Fidel 4229.
Hold on, let me take photos of all these. I didn't even do that yet.
Yeah. I got them also pinned over here. We'll go back through them again.
Okay.
We're taking pictures.
I like to take photos.
Yeah, you're good.
All right, here we go.
And then the most recent one was Zayam KO. Brendan Allen sub on the other side of that.
Bilal decision. You need odds, bro. You got to put the odds in there.
Yes, got to put the odds in there. We know the rules. We know this is a violent card up to the main event. We'll see what we see in the main event. But what do you think of Souza's sub before we move on here?
Right? You sold me, bro. Plus 750.
Yeah, model result plus 507. So I think it is good value, even if it's not the most likely outcome.
Yeah.
Don't always love Souza's fight IQ, but I think she's the significantly more skilled fighter there. So we'll move forward here. It only gets better. Women's flyweight, Jaisla Chavez taking on Eunice Dubin. These are the ones that are going to get buried on the early Apex prelim cards. So now we'll have to see if Eunice Dubin can build off of what was a really disappointing loss by head kick KO to Carly Judice. Chavez coming off the Contender Series. This is her official UFC debut after beating Sofia Montenegro. So what do you think of this one? I mean, minus 430 for a fight of this level seems kind of crazy, but is it in actuality that crazy?
What's the decision price on Chavez?
I think I was looking. I want to say it was plus 175. I was just perusing Hard Rock before we got on, but
sign me up. Sign me up for that.
Yeah. You're not worried a little bit about Dubin's chin after going out to that head kick in the? Yeah, it is plus.
I mean, it is a nice head kick. I'm not that concerned.
Yeah, Dubin's gonna KO this chick. Well, so Dubin.
There's another sneaky sub there, bro. I was looking at that one too, and it's very short. The Ziam sub is short as hell.
Interesting. But so I honestly think that this is actually a decent number for Jaisla Chavez when you consider the pedigree of these opponents. Maybe a stat you've seen floated around is that both of them, like before they got to UFC, these ladies have fought basically plumbers and male women and all of that stuff because that barely any of them had any professional records at all. But Chavez gets the win over Montenegro, who it was actually kind of like she was supposed to be the girl that UFC was pushing and getting a win over Chavez, but she ended up competing in that fight. It was a bloody, really good fight to watch. I feel like Dubin got a little lucky on the Contender Series. She had that big overhand of Shannon Clark that made Dana hop out of his chair, and then she got absolutely destroyed. I know I like Judice a lot, but she's not someone that has a lot of power. And I was watching Dubin that fight back. Her hands were low that entire time. It feels like she's just got a lot of work to do, like developmentally. And I haven't even gotten to the problem yet, which is I think that based on her kickboxing background, I think she's a white belt on the ground where Chavez we could talk about subs in every fight, it feels like, but it's 4-1 here. And I think it's because bookmakers can only hedge against that result so much. So, dude, I'm a maniac. I parlayed Jaisla Chavez on Sunday because I noted I think Dubin might be
getting a lot of feedback on your audio, bro. I don't know if it's on my end or if it's for everyone. My audio is really clear to me. Talk again.
How about now? Is that
Yeah,
like
it's a lot of feedback.
here? Let me see if I
Chat,
can.
let us know if you guys hear the feedback too, or if it's just me.
Is that better at all?
No, that's actually worse.
Okay. Give me a minute here.
It's still, I can still hear you well. It just has a little feedback. That's all. Costa round 2 KO, Bilal decision, Luna sub, 170 to 1. Jesus.
I guess chat says I sound okay. Is that any better?
No feedback. All right, you're good then.
Okay. I don't want you to suffer either, though. It's bad enough you have to listen to my voice, bro. But I really kind of like Chavez in this fight. So
Hold on, I lost.
I heard myself there.
On the
I heard it on
echo?
you, yeah, on an echo.
Fuck yeah. All right, hold on. Let me come back in real quick.
No worries. Yeah, I think Matty undid his headphone setup there, which actually made it worse. Yeah, thank you, guys. Yeah, we'll get it sorted out. Matt's coming back in, and then we'll hopefully put the audios behind us. All right, how we doing?
Perfect.
Yeah, that sounds better. Okay,
Dude,
sometimes StreamYard will give us some bugs, but certainly we'll make the best of it as well. But that's okay. We appreciate StreamYard and all they do, and we'll move on. Now. I think we've talked enough about Jason Chavez and UDC Dubin for the level of that fight. But now we have a really, I mean, when you see the depth of this card, these guys' third fight in is a crazy matchup because I really like both of them. Joe Anderson Brito taking on Jordan Levitt. Joe Anderson about minus 200 here, coming off a win over Isak Thompson in his UFC debut. And then Levitt coming off a very impressive featherweight debut where he dominated Yadier Del Valle. And I said his claim to fame in that fight was maybe putting Isaac Dulgarian behind bars. So we'll see. We'll see how these two match up. Really good gyms, really hot, talented fighters. What do you think of this matchup with Brito, considering the odds at play?
Yeah, I mean, I understand the dog play on Levitt. He can literally get takedowns. We've seen Brito struggle on bottom. But I'm sorry, maybe I'm just a submission addict, but I cannot get over how good this sub is for Anderson Brito, especially because Levitt is just proven that it's hard to knock him out. I still think he's never been knocked out.
Nope.
You just saw him fight Yadier Del Valle, didn't get knocked out. He stays safe. He's awkward on the feet. But when he fights good jiu-jitsu guys, he has been tapped twice. I think Brito has a good rear naked choke and a good guillotine, and I think both are live here at plus 500. So I absolutely love the Brito by sub angle. I would not lay 2-1 on his money line because we all know at this point how he loses against wrestlers and grapplers. But I'm telling you one thing, though. This fight a year ago, Brito would be minus 400. So you're kind of getting Levitt at the highest he could ever be at as far as his stock. And then you're getting Brito at the lowest his stock could ever be right now.
Yeah.
So I'm going with Brito as a pick. I'm definitely hesitant to take his money line because we know he can lose in this matchup. But
yeah,
I also think Brito's a big, strong 45er. Like this fight could be at lightweight for both guys, truthfully. So like I like Brito here to get a choke. I think it's super live. And he's got to be working on this shit at some point, bro. He keeps losing the same way.
Yeah.
He was a highly touted guy that like everyone was super high on. The William Gomes loss, he had the round 2 sub. I was at that fight live, and he just couldn't finish it. Pat Sabatini, I think, would probably do the same thing to Jordan Levitt that he did to Brito. I think Sabatini's just a higher tier than Levitt when it comes to the grappling. I think he's a little more relentless and heavier on top.
Sure.
So I'm gonna pick Brito for the pick, and then I'm gonna play the submission at 5-1. But again, like you see these comments, this is exactly what I'm talking about. Everyone thinks Brito's trash now. It's like William Gomes and Pat Sabatini are very good opposition.
And he should have won the Gomes fight on.
And remember how the Jonathan Pierce fight went. He was getting out grappled for 7-8 minutes, and he finds I think it was a ninja choke. Ninja choke in round 2. I could see him get out grappled and then catch Jordan Levitt in something. I really like the sub here.
Yeah, Matty, when I looked at this fight and I forecasted, I'm like, okay, I know Matty is really still on Joe Anderson Brito, and I agree with your point about it being like a relative buy low spot on him. I think we were way too high on him a few fights ago, but now it's getting to a point where it's teetering toward, I think he's being properly valued by the market.
That's fair.
And I was gonna be all over you. I'm like, Matty, here you go with Burrito again. And then I looked at my model result and I was gonna lecture you. And then I look and I've got Burrito sub plus 333 because he's got the tendency.
Bro, that sub is nasty.
Because
I think it's my favorite sub. I had a cycle sub in a few fights from now, but this one's starting to like be on my radar even more.
Yeah, I mean, when you think about it conceptually, Levitt is a guy that is always going to shoot. He is not going to strike in this fight. He never will. And we saw Del Valle try to jump Gilly unsuccessfully a couple times when he fought Levitt in that last fight.
And I think Brito is a much stronger squeeze, and he's much more opportunistic with his submission attempts.
Ultimately, if you like Levitt here, I think it's because you buy a few things about him. You buy the KO durability, which, I'm not all the way in there at 145. It is a bigger weight cut, but he says he's doing really well with his health, so we'll see how it plays out. And then I think you also buy the top time angle. And I don't know if I quite agree with you that Levitt might not be a better guy than Sabatini overall here in this 145-pound division, because I think the chin is a big difference in this matchup for him. And I also think that Levitt's really big and strong, trains with a really good gym at Syndicate. I saw him pop into Extreme Couture a little bit as well. I bet Levitt at plus 155 here, but that's showing value on Burrito's sub. So, I think you and I are sort of aligned in this, where in my opinion, I think what we're both saying is Joe Anderson Burrito KO is plus 300. I think that's overvalued and why you're struggling to get to his money line, and that's why I struggle with it as well.
Yeah, and the Levitt decision, I mean, it's plus 375, bro. I would question you, do you really see Levitt finishing Joe Anderson Burrito? You can get such a better price on that decision number. I mean, I guess the submission could be live for Levitt.
No, I like decision. I have it plus 275, and that's how I'd play Jordan here.
Yeah, dude, plus 375. I mean, I could get there on both bets. I mean, you got a plus 375 and a plus 500 number. You just got to hit one of them. So I like both options.
And by the way, we did get a question. What's the over-under here? Over 2.5 rounds is minus 130 in this fight. So odds makers expecting length, but I think getting it to start round 2 sounds about right, but that's when that Burrito Gilly is a little bit live, right? That's a little scary. That JSP had that exact same thing happen to him. So, by the way, what happened to JSP? I know he had a couple tough losses to Burrito and Sabatini.
He's solid.
JSP is a good time. I hope they bring him back, or at least he gets a bag from PFL.
What was his last fight? Was the Sabatini, October 2024, bro.
I think they cut him.
I mean, what a tough run, bro. Burrito, David Onama, Pat Sabatini. That's just a tough run in the UFC.
Dude, go make your bag in PFL. Go pick. And we and Big Maple, he'll snuff this stuff out. Levitt sub exact method heel hook.
I just can't see Burrito tap into the heel hook, bro.
Agree. I agree there. But I mean, Maple's always diabolical.
Super chat.
What you got?
We got Frankie Bedin. Thank you for the super chat. We got Bonfim decision. Allen sub, Zion KO. I think that Bonfim decision is carrying that cycle to get it to plus 4,400.
Big Maple Levitt might play Burrito's cheeks like a bongo. We will see. I mean, there are a lot of strong opinions on that fight. It's one I'm certainly looking forward to on this card. But we'll move up here. I have another fight that I was able to model between veterans here. We got Chelsea Chandler taking on Priscilla Cachoeira. This is at women's 135. A couple of Jocelyn Edwards victims going to battle here. Matty, Chandler minus 130 here. So what do you think of this matchup, and who do you give the edge to?
I mean, Priscilla is so hittable, and she's like a zombie, but I just don't see Chelsea Chandler being the girl to take advantage of that. So I'm going dog or pass here.
Before I move on, 2 first names put in chat. He was hurt that we missed his super chat. We did. He put it in here. 2 first names. Allen sub, Ewo KO, Levitt money line. So I appreciate your conviction. I don't think Matty's going to take Levitt money line, but we appreciate the support nonetheless. But when we look at this fight, we got to see the scale. That's always a thing at women's 135. Matty, I like Chandler here. I think a lot of people think she's no good at all. She had the running meme from Norma Dumont. I will say the Yana Santos look getting outpointed there was not a good look. I really don't hold the Edwards result against either of these ladies. That's just a different galaxy of skill and level of competition. But Cachoeira is someone's I've always struggled with. Negative 3.17 striking success rate. That is worst on this card which is a really bad card where we have a lot of bad fighters here as well.
Yeah.
But and when I think about it, Chandler trains out with the Diaz guys in Stockton. Is there a little bit of jiu-jitsu in there? Because Priscilla, she's 0-5 as a pro by submission. She tapped to a lot of girls. Really, any of the last girls that you'd say had any grappling danger at all, including Jazz DeVicious, Miranda.
Is that
Maverick.
true?
What do you mean?
She put her gloves down? Her last
Chandler
loss? Is that true?
Yeah, but I mean, we've seen fighters like put their gloves off and they're like, oh, are they going to retire? And then they end up not doing it. So like, I didn't hear any of that, but it is a good point if we had it.
For sure.
But like both these ladies 35 or older, so like it could be a retirement fight for either one. We really never know. But I like Chandler. Model result came back. I've got Chandler minus 131 here, so almost right around betting range. I got her at minus 120 earlier this week.
Mm-hmm. Fair enough.
I was going to try to talk you into Chandler sub. I've got it plus 736. I bet that's not even showing value, though. Probably decision.
I mean, Priscilla does get subbed a shitload. Let me see what the price is. Let's take a look here. Chelsea Chandler by submission plus 600. I'm good on that.
I prefer decision at plus 225.
I would need like 9-1 there to even think about it.
Hey, overall, this one's actually slightly favored to not go the distance. I've actually got it 64.1% likely to go the distance. So, I know Kashweta got chinned by Edwards, but she's historically been very, very durable. So
Edwards is a fucking monster, bro.
She is. I mean,
I don't see Chelsea Chandler putting out Priscilla unless she does sub her.
It wasn't overly entertaining, but that Dumont win was super impressive by Edwards. And the strides she's made even since fighting.
I was so dead wrong on that, bro. Jocelyn Edwards could be a future champ at this rate. That's how good she's looking.
I think they got to rematch her and Perez as you kind of stack up what the division looks like by a past.
I think she wins that rematch for sure.
Me too.
I think her hands are better.
Yeah. I'm worried about Eileen's striking limitations too, but every girl's. That's some good info. We appreciate it. Yeah. So we'll move on here. We got a lot of the women's MMA fights stacked up there, so we'll do with that what we have.
Big Maple.
Wow, 2 already. What do we got here?
Big Maple super chat. He says we'll meet us at the Hard Rock. Tafa round 1, Ziam round 2, Luna round 3. That's insanity, bro.
Santiago Luna round 3. We'll talk about Bryce Mitchell and Santiago Luna later, but we got to get to this one first. A fun one at flyweight. Bruno Silva taking on Edgar Chairez, jockeying for position inside the rankings in this one, Matty. Both of these guys coming off controversial decisions. Chairez won his against Felipe Bunis in Mexico. Bruno Silva lost his against Charles Johnson in earlier this year. I think that was a live show for Bruno and CJ. But Bruno Silva minus 132, Maddie, maybe a little bit more experience. But like, do you think Chairez can absolutely pull this upset as a small dog?
I think he can, bro. But he just disappoints me, dude. I hated his fight against Felipe Bunes. I just didn't like that result.
Yeah.
I think that was round 3. He had multiple chances to get a finish and he just didn't get it, if I'm not mistaken. And I still think his submission threats are live here, but Bruno Silva is just very well rounded and he has power on the feet.
Yep.
I do believe in Chairez's durability here. So like I like a Bruno Silva decision angle potentially.
Yeah.
A lot actually. I think Chairez's durability is really, really good.
Yeah.
But I think it's a very close fight. I can see a split decision pretty easily here. But I'm not ruling out Chairez to get a late finish, bro. I think he's a dog.
Yeah. I have this concern.
Cody Durden, sorry to interrupt you, but Cody Durden had a standing TKO on Bruno Silva, and he shot a takedown when he had him hurt. And I'll still never forget that. Like, I feel like Chairez's hands on the feet are actually live here. He's got a nice reach advantage here. And I just feel like he's like waiting for like a breakout performance from Chairez. So like, I'm very back and forth on this fight, truthfully.
This is make or break for Chairez because I feel like he's another one of these guys from Mexico that every time the UFC goes down there or they have Noche UFC, they fed him an advantageous matchup. He got Daniel Lacerda twice. He got CJ Vergara. Bunis was supposed to be a sacrifice. You and I were all over 2-3 in that one because we're like, Bunis is a gas bag. He gasses after 2 rounds. And here's Chairez. I thought he was down 2-0 but he ended up getting the scorecard result there. And Bunis, maybe a little bit underrated, but Silva's a guy that has completely turned his career around since he was huddled against the fence with Joshua Van. Big upset over Hyun-Sung Park is the much older guy in that fight. And then I thought he won the Johnson fight. I was on CJ, so I was very lucky with that result. But it was a close fight. That was a tough one for him because of the reach disadvantage. The thing with Johnson is I think he's got really good takedown defense and balance. Shirez historically not. 38% takedown D, and he's got this bad tendency to kind of hunt jiu-jitsu off of his back a little bit. I don't think you're going to catch Bruno with anything cheeky. But, Matty, I just saw a number, and sometimes when you try to bet this like profitably, I saw a number I couldn't resist here. I got Silva minus 113 on Poly Market on Sunday. And now I'm at a point where, like, as this line trends up, I saw Silva as high as minus 145. I can just arbitrage out of the position if I make a different, decision. I will say Shirez sub is the prop I'm showing the most value on. I've got plus 467. It's 7 or 8 to 1, depending on where you look at. But I kind of think Silva lands a few takedowns in this fight. I think he controls the general tenor of it and wins. But if you like the prop market, if you like Shirez, maybe that's how you look to back him.
Yeah, I will say Shirez's 3 losses in the UFC. Josh Van, Tatsuro Taira, and Clayton Carpenter. And I just think Bruno Silva is 1 or 2 tiers below all 3 of those guys. So that's the argument for Shirez.
I'd bet Clayton against Bruno Silva, and without much hesitation. So it's a good argument. And I mean, Shirez, the thing I want to note, if you're kind of leaning Shirez a little bit, Antram Gym, the gym in Mexico with Michael Morales, Juan Diaz, it's a great gym right now. Like, I don't think Silva's totally outgunned at Fight Ready from that perspective, but if you want a reason to think maybe he comes into his own, that would be it. Yeah.
The Shirez KO is plus 475.
Yeah, I got plus 792. I'm a little long there.
Yeah, for sure.
This is another one of those where I don't think Silva has more finishing upside, but I kind of like him a little bit as a favorite, and that's kind of a weird place to be. But I think this is a great fight. Really good matchmaking on the prelims there.
Agreed.
We got the chat's going crazy. We got people really like Shirez, like really like Silva. So good to see that disparity. But I don't think we'll see that disparity in this final featured prelim here. We got Marcus McGee taking on John Giannis. Weird matchmaking, Matty, where last time we saw Marcus McGee, he held his own against Petr Yan, and now he's taking on a guy that is 1-1 in UFC and was absolutely dismantled by Austin Bashi. So I guess we'll see what happens. Maybe Giannis's chin and his boxing can pull a major upset, but McGee's minus 520. Am I ridiculous to think that this is just a laughable step down for McGee?
Yeah, no, not at all. It definitely is. I'll tell you what, though, that submission, whoever said that in the chat got me really fucking looking at it at plus 500. McGee does have a submission win, and that's John's lost twice by sub. And you get a 5-1 favorite at 5-1 odds on sub, bro. I actually really starting to like that.
You know how Nolan does one bet in every fight? We should do one sub in every fight for this card because I feel like we've got.
Bro, there's so many submission opportunities. It's insanity.
That's really good news for us. But I agree, and that's where we saw Giannis absolutely.
Austin Bashi got it early in round 1, bro. 3 minutes into round 1, he got it in that matchup.
And that's Bashi's game, whereas McGee is certainly more willing to stand.
But Bashi likes to bang it out too on the feet.
Yeah, a little bit. McGee's about like 1.2 takedowns attempted per 15. So like it's there, but it's not really his forte coming from MMA Lab with O'Malley and Kyler Phillips and all those guys. I think this could be a banger of a fight if it stays on the feet. Giannis seems pretty tough and durable, and McGee is a guy that tends to let people land one to hit one because he believes in his power. But I agree. I think if McGee can mix it up is really where his path to look minus 500 goes. And I can't do it. I don't have strong enough conviction. Giannis got that win over Jamie Siraj in Canada. There were some bums on that Canadian car, and Jamie Siraj might have been the absolute worst of them. I mean, it was either him or that LeBlanc guy that they had face Rob Zilla. And like I am nowhere near convinced enough just because of that Giannis can hang even at a UFC level. Whereas McGee, I just saw look like he belonged against Petr Yan and destroy Jonathan Martinez, who's a guy I still really like a lot.
Here's a good comment. Marcus wants to get in and out quick so he can keep training for X Games.
I didn't even know he was what is Big Maple? What is Marcus's X Games sport of choice? Is he a skateboarder or what?
I think so.
I agree with Emmett. If you don't smash the like button right now, all your bets will lose this weekend. You'll have your worst card of the year if you do not smash the like button. That's a good point by Emmett right there. He is a skateboarder. He looked like a skateboarder to me, so that makes sense.
Marcus McGee, round 1 sub. I got to see what this price is, bro. Hold on. I'm really intrigued right now.
I'm going to take a peek.
Where is it?
By the way, I just want to shout out Caesars. They have a full lineup of rounds and props on Wednesday, so good for them.
Wow. Now, the price might not be good, though.
I've got McGee round 1 sub at plus 825 here.
On your model or the book?
No, this book. I can't model Giannis yet.
I got plus 1,000 on Hard Rock.
Hell yeah.
Sign me up for that.
But that I believe because I think that is where his path of least resistance is in this fight particularly. But I also think he wins the stand-up. So general, if you like McGee to win here, I never advocate parlaying super heavy favorites, but in this case, I think it's
his only sub was in round 1 too.
Yeah.
That was an LFA. No, I'm sorry, he lost by round 1 sub in LFA, but his UFC submission win was in round 2 against Journey Newsom.
Yeah, man, Newsom was a guy similarly who had a lot of grappling problems. So
and decent durability on the feet, well, kind of. All right, let's move on from this one.
Mandy's in here. Why is Matty always so sexy? I find myself
because I'm wearing the Home of Fight USA gear. That's why.
I find myself asking the same question, Mandy. All right. Well, we'll pay some bills before we hop up onto the main card here. As always, you guys know we're brought to you by Home of Fight Picks. Our guys Nolan and Hayjive. Man, they've had Hayjive on ice, bro. They're terrified of him. We have a certain book that isn't releasing DFS props because they're terrified of Hayjive and how badly he smacked their head the last month. If you want to be in on that, or Nolan coming off a nice card in Macau, you can join Home of Fight Picks. I've said it's the Home of Fight Picks summer code. HOF gets you 7 days free. Winnable.com/HOF Picks, so you can visit the Home of Fight Picks Instagram to learn more there. Show's also brought to you by Novig. You can spend $5 if you haven't visited Novig at all. You can get $50 with a $5 deposit. Use code FIGHT there. Maddie lives in Florida. I live in Texas. We could still place a cycle parlay right this second, thanks to Novig, and they have a lot of great lines. By the way, I saw some NBA prop lines that are crazy good compared to market on Novig. So it's a good place to hang if you like to bet on sports.
I just put the NBA lay-in for tonight, bro. It's plus 13-1.
You did. If you have a clip, we can throw it up there for the folks if they want to tail you after the show. I'm not sure if you got it available or not, but
yeah, let me try.
He'll visit Maddie's Telegram if you're not part of the Maddie Bets Telegram as well. But also, I'm going to throw in here, we got repacks by Collectibles. We had someone early in the show tell us, Maddie, I'm terrified. I'm losing my wife and kids because I can't stop ripping packs. Good, because these packs are so cool. We got $60 regular packs. You get at least a $30 MSRP card. $150 elite packs. You get at least an $80 to $100 card. 2 great ways to start your collection. By the way, Maddie, number 2 in my collection. I'm going to start to get a shelf behind me for this. I got my Hamza Chimaev.
Did you see John Anik just ripped?
I know John Anik ripped a big Hamza.
He ripped a Grail PSA 9 $1,500 Hamza card.
Yeah.
I was glad to see they ripped that because they were getting some shit cards for everyone's like, oh, it's so rigged. I'm like, you guys haven't watched them rip cards for 2 months now getting dog shit.
Yeah.
I was like, but it was crazy because he literally asked for Hamza. He's like, let me get a Wolf card. And boom, $1,500 Wolf card came up. It was pretty sick. Yeah, here's my NBA lay, guys, if you want to see it. Man, this is on Novig. Use code FIGHT if you want to get $50 for free on Novig. Cat 2 threes, Bridges 20 points. That's his alt line because his regular line's 14.5, and then Josh Hart PRA.
I like it. I like it a lot, Maddie. It was your birthday on Saturday. I talked to you. I was like, let's do this for a lay, and I fell 1 point short of delivering for you. I felt so badly.
Half a point, bro.
Yeah, we needed 1 point from Stefan Castle. It was almost incredibly surgical, and it was a struggle to that point.
But it was just the foul trouble that cooked it. That's the worst part.
Absolutely. And by the way, obviously the show's sponsored by HomoFight, and we have HomoFight merch at homofight.com. Here's some of the new collection. Maddie's wearing one of the HOF White House card shirts, but you can see a lot of the cool merch for the American UFC Freedom 250 is next week. A really cool. If you want something to wear to the 4th of July barbecue, this is definitely a fitting. And we got some cool photos here with some of the HOF merch. You visit homofight.com, you might run into an Austin Swaim article or two as well. So thank you guys so much for everybody behind our show that puts that stuff together for us. They do a wonderful job. But that's smacking, bro. We love that from Scotty McDonald's. I probably didn't say that correct, but that's fine as well. I called.
He wants to rip a pack too.
Do we rip a pack at the end of the show?
We're gonna rip a pack for Scotty on this show.
Okay, we'll rip one at the end of the show, but you got to hang around, brother. We'll check back in with you. But first, we got some fights to preview here up on the main card, including this one, a catch weight at 130. It's a short notice fight between Matt Schnell and Alessandro Costa. Matty, this was supposed to be Matt Schnell against Imanol Rodriguez. Absolutely yikes. I guess this one is a little bit more winnable for Schnell, but obviously we know the trials and tribulations of Matt at this point. So that's why Costa is minus 900. What do you think about this fight, and is there anywhere we can squeeze value out of this betting?
I just don't think Schnell has a path to victory, bro. Like, I don't think he can win this. He's a submission guy, and his submission's 14-1 odds. I mean, I get it because he's a 5-1 dog, but like,
right.
It's like I don't see him outpointing Alessandro Costa. I don't see him knocking him out. I'm like, how does he win the fight? I just don't see really any path for him to win here.
Yeah.
I believe Schnell like kind of retired and came back, didn't he?
I would buy it because it's been a really problematic run for him.
Yeah, and Costa by KO feels free, but it's minus 190. I guess the club and subs always a fear there, but I think Costa's probably going to chin him, probably like Steve Usyk did in round 2 would be my prediction.
Yeah.
But I mean, it is kind of a weird fight and matchup, but I think Costa finishes him.
Yeah, I could see this being a parlay buster from the perspective of it. I think if you get greedy and go to Costa ITD or KO sub, like either one of those, that's where things could get weird because there are a lot of paths on the table here. I'm just going to throw some things out there. I'm not going to pick Matt Schnell to win this fight, but I will say the last time we saw Schnell knocked down was March of 2024. And, he fought Cody Durden, pretty big hands. Jimmy Flick's not really a problem. And then Joseph Morales, more of a grappling fight. I think Schnell's chin problems might be just a tiny bit exaggerated at this point. Alessandro Costa, last we saw him, lost the striking differential to Stuart Nickel. I'll say the performance that left me scratching my head. He was not even competitive against Alden Correa. And then we go out there and watch Correa. He's in a close fight with Luis Garule. So I feel like there's this up and down nature to Alessandro Costa where you look at him physically, he's a tank. He's got great boxing, great jiu-jitsu. Like you feel like he's going to put all of these tools together and be like a ranked guy in the division. And the box score and the results kind of are a little bit underwhelming. I think Matt Schnell's path to victory is he survives some of the early power advances. I don't think his defensive jiu-jitsu is horrible, even though he's been tapped. Mostly he gets tapped because he puts himself in a guillotine. I think that's what happened against Durden. It's what happened against Brandon Royval.
I can see that happening if you're on the Costa KO, bro.
I do
bro,
too.
The Costa sub is plus 525. Like, there is legitimately 6 submissions on this card that are like 5-1 or higher. That all out of life, bro. It's insane.
But I think, if this goes 15 minutes, I think you could be a little bit nervous holding that Costa ticket because he is the smaller guy. Schnell can throw kicks. He threw decent volume out there. You look back when he fought Tyson Nam, this was a while ago at this point, but he was able to out volume him on the feet. Nam's a guy that carried a lot of power when he was with UFC. Yeah. But I'm not going to call the upset here. I'm just saying this betting line, I think, is off, and its associated props trickle down to a point where I think this fight is Schnell or pass, and that usually is very much a pass in that position.
Yeah, I'm going to ask Cody Durden. I'm texting him Costa sub over Matt Schnell. Let me see what he says.
I think you got to be careful because fighters always push their own agenda. He might say, "I think Schnell's got it." He might say,
"No, Cody's my guy. He's so straight up."
Yeah, that's true.
But I want to see what he says. But I kind of like the plus 525, bro. Schnell just finds ways to get subs sometimes.
So I have a mechanism that I think I told you. My model's been doing well, right? And one of the changes I made in January was I created this attrition metric to basically say if Big Maple made me laugh in chat. We're not even gonna throw that up there. But I said if so I made attrition like a gas tank, man, where it's like once the gas tank is out, presumably this fighter is going to be finished in every single fight they take. I've got Matt Schnell with like 4% left in the tank. Like he's taken a lot of attrition throughout his career and probably should retire if he gets stopped by Costa here.
Yeah, for sure.
All righty, so we'll move forward here. We got a lot of Spurs.
Let's go.
I love this fight as well. Iwo Baranuski is back a little sooner than maybe we anticipated. He's taking on Junior Tafa, who we saw last month in Perth, so it's a quick turnaround for him here stateside. Light heavyweight battle between a couple of guys coming off wins, Maddie. So Iwo here is minus 390. He's taking a lot of money this week. He was minus 270 on Sunday. So what do you think about Baranuski, a guy it feels like UFC is kind of starting to push because of that fun fight he had in his debut?
I like him. The round 1 submission is up to 8-1 on Hard Rock, by the way, for Evo. The submission, I think, in general is 5-1. My only hesitancy, because this is a candidate for the cycle parlay for sure. My only hesitancy is the guy loves to stand and bang.
Yes,
and it does scare me in round 1 against Junior Tafa that he could get tagged. But I'm gonna be on Evo by sub for sure.
At some point, Tafa round 1 KO is probably going to come back like plus 450, plus 500 at worst here, right? You could conceivably hedge any Ewo position you have with that sort of dynamic, but like,
yeah,
I mean, I think I've told you this before. Tafa brothers don't win fights that go outside of 3 minutes particularly often. The only one was Junior against Sean Sharaf, who is Sean Sharaf. And like,
I love this comment, bro.
He said this in his last interview. I was going to bring this up, so I'm glad Al-Shamsi, I'm sorry if I said that incorrectly, put it in here. He's like, I want to show off my judo. This is a perfect opportunity to do
Please
so.
do, yeah.
Yeah, because anybody that can judo throw Junior is going to get him down, and we usually see him tap. Matty, I want you to take credit for this instead of me because you texted me this, and I agree with you. What's the particular sub you're looking at for Ewo in this fight?
Oh, the arm bar, bro.
Yes, he had a couple on the regional scene. I saw them actually before his Contender Series appearance against Muhammad Ali, who I still think is a really good prospect that just ran into Baranuski at the wrong time. We saw him debut as a pro with those arm bars, and I don't think Junior necessarily would be able to go through the defensive sequence there either. So I think that's why Elo's minus 400 is here is because of his judo and his grappling. Other than that, we saw against Debo Aslan, dude, if he stands and bangs, he got dropped in that fight. And against a guy with power like Tafa, that's anybody's game. I think you'd be an idiot to fight that way against Junior Tafa. But,
yeah.
You know, I guess
I'm glad he's saying that in his interview, though. It makes me feel better.
Yeah. Shout out our guy Nolan Knows MMA. We appreciate you checking in. We just plugged home fight picks for you, buddy. So keep cooking this week. We appreciate you stopping by and supporting the show. We're both on Baranuski sub here. You know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of, you remember when we bet Raul Rosas KO against Terrence Mitchell? And everyone's
round
like,
one. I had round 1 KO.
Yeah, we did. And it's like, everyone's like, oh, it's a trap. It's a trap. It's a trap. He's going to find the sub. And it's like, I'm telling you, Baranuski has these wrinkles that we haven't quite seen yet in UFC. Yeah. Cool comment from Anthony here. Me and Iwo competed at the same Judo World Championships in the Bahamas in 2018. He is a beast. He took bronze in Worlds. Like, I'm telling you, man, there's a layer to him.
I'm all in, bro. It's going to the cycle.
Oh, yeah. I love that.
It's definitely, in my opinion, safer than the burrito one. So, and it's the same price, roughly. So.
Yeah, I feel like the burrito fight has more outcomes where like you like top.
Bro, I could build 3 cycles this week with the amount of subs on the board. I actually think KOs are kind of harder this week.
Do we call it a business mission to load up for UFC White House this week? We're coming home with a bag somewhere. All right. Sure, but now let's move on here. We got the fourth to last fight up. We got Bryce Mitchell taking on Santiago Border Boy Luna at bantamweight. This is fight number 2 at 135 pounds for Bryce Mitchell. Yeah. Santiago Luna, we saw earlier this year in Mexico against Angel Pacheco. Matty, really polarizing fight in betting circles. Bryce Mitchell all the way down to minus 146, which means I bet there's like a minus 130 something floating out there somewhere.
What did he open at?
He was closer to like minus 200 on Sunday. I'm looking here some of the line movement, but it definitely is moving toward Luna here. He's a good prospect. I get it. What do you think about this matchup, man? Do you have a guy that you prefer at those odds?
I was looking at Bryce Mitchell by decision, but I'm honestly, honestly, what kind of got me there was he looks to be in the best shape I've ever seen him. He
Really
always has that farmer's boy body, but he looks jacked right now, bro. He looks
interesting.
literally jacked right now. So I think he's locked in. This is a good prospect, though. I could see a very close decision where it's kind of like damage versus control.
Yeah.
But I think Bryce edges it out 29-28, but I think it's very close.
Yeah. Here's another guy, just like we talked about Jordan Levitt a little bit earlier, a guy that moves down and like it feels like he's kind of in better shape because he's moving down. Like you can't kind of cheat the same way that you would fighting 145. I got to be honest with you. I think some of the analysis on this fight is really stupid. I know Santiago Luna is really good, but he's 21 and he's a bantamweight and he doesn't hit like Josh Emmett. And Josh Emmett is the only guy to flatten Bryce Mitchell. And unless you're totally out on the chin, which like I guess that's fine.
Dude, Bryce Mitchell survived against Ilya. He took a beating. I mean, Charles Oliveira didn't survive that way. I mean, you know, like you got to give credit to Bryce Mitchell's durability overall. I mean, that shot that Josh Emmett landed on him, he sat down heavy on that. I was at that show live, or I was at that fight live, and I thought Bryce Mitchell was dead. You know, but outside of that, he has a freaking chin, bro.
I think so too, and we saw that against John Silva as well. He got tapped in that fight, and like I think at this point he's fighting smaller dudes, and I was concerned for him because of the Saeed Nurmagomedov Gilly, and maybe Luna's got a Gilly in there somewhere, but Mitchell to me is a savant on the ground, and he is the type of guy that has those tricks that Luna, I just don't think he's got the experience for. And like Bryce is more effective on the feet than people give him credit for because
he is.
So like I think that this is one of those classic spots where UFC fans and MMA bettors, they buy the guy that they've seen, they buy the hot prospect, they fade the guy that necessarily isn't as sexy, doesn't have all this appeal of like the undefeated prospect. But Mitchell has all of that high level experience. He's the bigger guy here, and I'm liking Mitchell more and more progressively as this number continues to shrink because I think the analysis on this fight is really dumb. And frankly, there's a sect of people that they don't like Bryce Mitchell as a person, and it affects the way they bet this fight. You know what I mean?
Yeah, of course.
Which is like, I mean, like I don't love some of the comments he's made either, but like I'm not going to let that affect my betting stance here if I'm trying to make some money. So
yeah.
But yeah, I mean, we really will see. I think at this point, and by the way, this is a short notice fight as well. I don't know if they're going down to 135, but I forgot to even say what my main point here was, dude. Angel Pacheco took this dude down. I mean, Angel Pacheco's a boxer.
Yeah. That's fair.
Mitchell, I mean, like Mitchell has smothered Andre Feely, and I'm probably forgetting some names. He made Crone Gracie look like he didn't belong at all. Like Bryce Mitchell's so good, and I feel like people disrespect him a little bit.
Yeah, I'm with you. He's been grappling a good bit too. He's coming off of 3 straight grappling matches since his fight against Saeed Nurmagomedov.
Yeah, you and I are a little bit on an island with this week. I might have to consider it for the safe parlay. Throw Bryce Mitchell money line in there. Might be diabolical. We'll take a look at the end of the show. But why don't we move on here? We have 3 really banging fights to end this, including this one here. Fares Ziam taking on Tom Big Train Nolan. Feels like they're kind of sacrificing one of these guys in their positive momentum because they're 2 of lightweight's better prospects. Ziam coming off a stoppage of Nazim Sadikov, as well as Tom Nolan got a sub on Charlie Campbell, Matty. So, by the way, Campbell and Sadikov, both Sarah Longo guys. So rest in peace to Ray Longo and Matt Sarah's gym up there. What do you think of this matchup with Ziam at minus 320?
I like Ziam. Tom Nolan's really good, but I think Ziam, ever since that he got subbed against Terrence McKinney, I think ever since that fight, he's just a totally different guy, bro. He's well-rounded. Sure. He's skilled. He's long. He's got good range and distance management on the feet. I think he could put on a clinic here. Whether he gets a finish or not, I don't know. This is another sneaky sub, but I was shocked the sub was plus 450 and how short it was for Fares Ziam. Like someone else, I think someone said that in the chat. They were on the Ziam sub.
Wow, I've got it 10-1. That's crazy.
Yeah, it was very short, but it was eye-opening. I was like, wait a second, like, is this sub live? Like, it gave me that kind of vibe how short it was.
Yeah.
You got a super chat here.
Go ahead and read it before I give my take.
Ewo's sub, Bryce decision, Ziam KO, 38-1. I have to consider that one.
Yeah, well, we got some good ones to go through and pick at the end of the show. But like, Maddie, I wonder if this is a little bit of like a gut feeling or just like a model heat check for me. I like Tom Nolan here. I don't know. Like, I look at Ziam and I'm like, man, this guy is so well rounded, and it feels like he's coming into his own. And I like the gym that he trades out in France with Cyril Gahn and Nasruddin Imavov and those guys. And I'm like, why is it that I have this bad gut feeling about Ziam? And it's just because I look at his competition he's faced recently, and it just like, it's not his fault, but some of the guys he's faced recently have just completely fallen apart to a point where it's like, oh, well, I don't know if that was a great win. Or that was a great win. And, Sadikov was dropped by Nicholas.
I think Matt Frivola was his best performance because he dominated that fight and then got the round 3 stoppage. Yeah.
Yeah. And Frivola's a guy that's always a little bit wild. But now I'm on the other side of this where I'm like, okay, Tom Nolan's also a guy who's been a little chinny historically. He lost his like a minus 1,000 favorite or so over Mota, you and I like Mota. So I'm not going to hold that against him.
Yeah, bro. He had a banger against Sadikov.
Yeah, and then like Nolan also underperformed a little bit against Alex Reyes, but he's only 26. He's in this early developmental window that I talk about on the show every week here.
He's also durable. He's also very durable.
I think so. Outside of like when that power is super fresh and super early, I could see this being like a fight of the night type of the fight where it's up and down and both of these guys can match each other in all areas. And really, Ziam, the thing about it is he's very skilled, but he's also very patient on the feet. Just 2.87 significant strikes. I could feel like he could fall behind a little bit by volume. So I kind of like Big Train. I think my model's unhinged here, dude. I have Nolan sub plus 355. And I don't think it's let go of the early career grappling problems for Ziam. And I guess we'll find out on Saturday.
Yeah, I think the eye test shows that it is so improved, though.
Yeah.
I like distance more than anything in this fight the more I look at it, bro.
I'm probably going to be on distance, too. I have the fight minus 128 to not go, but I'm guessing violence is favored here, right?
Over 2.5 is minus 145.
Oh, shit. I'm on violence.
Yeah.
What fight am I not on violence with this week?
Fight goes the distance is a pick on minus 115 each way.
I guess we'll see where this trends through this weekend. Nolan KO1s. I've seen a couple of Nolan KO1 sprinkles.
Wow, his sub's 28-1, bro. No way.
Well, I guess I'm going fishing.
I see 30-1 on Hard Rock. 30-1.
I guess I'm going fishing this week.
But the fight to end by sub is probably like 3-1. Plus 425 to end by sub.
Nolan's a jiu-jitsu black belt. Big, long limbs. That's really crazy to me when T-Rex found.
How many subs does Tom Nolan have?
He just got one in his last fight. I think
that's his only one. Yeah.
Is that his only one?
Bro, hold on. Has there ever been a sub at 30-1 for a guy that's coming off a sub win? I don't know that that's ever happened.
Yeah.
Maybe for Yuri Prohaska off of the Glover sub, maybe, but like I've never seen that, bro, ever.
Especially crazy when 3 of Ziam's 4
I think I got a sprinkle at 30-1 and say fuck it.
3 of Ziam's 4 pro losses are subs, dude.
I think I have to sprinkle because the club and subs live too. I don't think he can get it, but 30-1 is disgusting.
My guy shouting me out. We'll see it. Models going fishing. I landed 30-1 on King Green. I'd love another hit. All right. Nolan 1-2 sub. We'll run it and see what the model and see if it's a heat check. But why don't we move up here? Co-main event time. We're looking at Brendan Allen taking on Edmund Shabazian. I mean, this fight feels a little.
Hold on, I got to tell you something real quick, bro.
What's up?
All right, you ready for this?
Yeah.
1,000 to win $1 million. Ewo sub. Burrito sub, Nolan sub, 1,000 to win $1 million. It's actually 1.1 mil.
It's entirely model.
Even if you take Burrito out of there, 1,000 pays 186,000 on Ewo and Nolan sub. I think I put 1,000 on that, bro.
I was gonna ask, can we do fight end sub, but I don't think I like Levitt sub, honestly.
No, I don't either.
I don't.
He's not
subbing
Burrito, bro.
I agree. All
right, we got a super chat. Costa sub, Ziam decision, Allen KO, 60 60-1 on Novik.
We got to bump that up because he shouted out Novik on there.
Yeah,
you know
Smart
how to
man.
know the game.
Smart man.
By T Birch 98 there, but it kind of weird, Matty, where Allen's coming off what felt like a career-defining win over RDR, and now he's in a co-main event against a guy that's not ranked in Edmund Shabazi. It just feels like weird.
It's a dangerous fight for Brendan Allen.
Right.
You got to give him props here for taking this.
Yeah.
Especially because it's an extreme couture guy where he struggled against, like you've said, Austin, and then Shabazian is entering his prime. He's fought all of these grapplers now. His speed and power on the feet is fantastic. I just hate fading Brendan Allen because whenever I do it, I get fucked, bro. I'd already are like an idiot. I think Brendan Allen's the better fighter, but man, I think Shabazian's live KO or decision here. I'm really torn on this one. What are the odds? I would not take Brendan Allen at minus 225. That's for sure. I kind of like him to win a decision if he gets it done. I don't think he's going to sub Shabazian, bro. I remember being at Extreme Couture and watching Edmund train, and his whole training session is just takedown defense. It's like nonstop takedown defense, bro.
Interesting.
I forget who. I think he was training for not the Andre Muniz fight, but a grappler before that. Who was it? Let me check. Because this was probably a year or two ago.
So he fought
Petrosky.
Yes,
he was training for. That's the fight I don't like on Shabazian's resume. It's like everyone else is putting away Andre Petrosky, and he didn't put him away.
Yeah.
But he won a unanimous decision there. He put away Muniz and Buka in round 1, as he should have. The GM3 fight, he pretty much finished GM3, and then GM3'd him. You know, that's literally all that happened. So I just like Edmund in general as a 28-year-old at Extreme Couture. Maybe this is too big a task for him. I don't know, but I like his stock in general, like long term.
Yeah.
Like I think he has a really good run in him in the next 2 to 3 years. It's just a tough matchup stylistically, obviously.
Yeah. When Edmund was younger, he was a wild man, and he went from the opening bell. Do you remember that Derek Brunson fight he had in a main event shortly after COVID?
Yeah,
and like he went all out to finish him in the first round, and then he gassed like in round 2. He's really pulled back and been more measured in recent fights.
He's evolved a lot, bro.
And that's where I think the Petrosky thing comes from.
And bro, the UFC is gonna push him like crazy if he knocks out Brendan Allen. I'm telling you right now.
Yeah. I mean, they've already put him in a main event historically. Like he's a guy they're very high on in general.
Yeah.
I think
it kind of feels like they're setting up Brendan Allen here, bro. I'm gonna be honest.
A little bit. I have to say the prop that I was surprised, like my model only likes one prop in this fight. It is actually 2, because I mean the Shabazian sprinkle at 25-1. I'm a little bit lower than that, but it likes Edmund decision plus 491 here, and I think it comes back to that patience. Those recent decisions. Allen historically has been a pretty tough guy to put away. Like Strickland and Curtis were more TKO type of things, and if Shabazian's not going to commit to that flurry, that's sort of maybe where that comes from. But I'm with you. I like Edmund's
this fight could go any way. We would not be surprised. It could be a KO or sub either direction. It could be a decision.
Yeah. But I have Edmund plus 149. I think I got to play him on the money line, and then maybe thinking the prop market a little harder. But I do think Allen's head defense liabilities are going to bite him at some point, a spot where it feels like he should win, and that may be here.
I agree. You come off that high of finishing RDR, and then you come down to this fight. It's like it's a dangerous matchup stylistically. Edmund could chin RDR early.
I think so too. I mean, he definitely. I mean, Edmund is a guy that I think a lot of people don't rate him very highly. But when you start thinking about how he matches up with guys at 185, like I think Kaio would be a really tough matchup for him. That'd be a brutal matchup for him. But I'm just going through the mental Rolodex at 185, and it's like, Strickland they'd probably never fight because they're teammates. Hamzat, that'd be a gas tank off right there. I think Hamzat's a 205er now, though. But RDR, Edmund's a pretty good wrestler. I think he's maybe a little bit underrated as a wrestler, and Duplessis had those issues. So, and Edmund's been hurt in fights. Edmund hasn't been hurt when fresh. Like he faded against GM3. Yeah. I mean, Fluffy drowned him. That was a brutal fight to watch from that perspective.
Oh yeah. I hit that. I hit the Fluffy round 3. I had 2-3 KO for Fluffy.
Yeah, big cardio advantage for Fluffy, and that was never going to end any other way.
For sure.
But it's interesting. I did not expect you to like Edmund here. It was one of those ones that I looked at my.
I'm torn. I'm not bullish on him, but I have a weird feeling this is just a bad setup fight. And Brendan Allen shouldn't have took this fight, but you got to give him his props.
I feel like the public's going to get rinsed in this fight one way or another. We're going to see some crazy shit that is not.
I mean, if Edmund wins a decision, I feel like no one's going to be on that.
Interesting.
Except you.
except my crazy mathematical part. All right, before we hop up onto the main event, let's choose. I mean, we have 10 entrants here with super chats, and I'm going to make sure we read them all because we had a couple of people saying we didn't read here.
Okay, good.
Okay, so I'm going to go in order, but I'm going to go. We got. Let's see. Tafa KO, Brito fight ends sub, Bruno Silva. Okay. We got Levitt decision, Ziam KO, McGee sub. We got
actually go back to that one. It's not bad. It's not bad because I can't do it though. The first two just I can't.
Yeah, you like Brito sub. You like Brito sub there. Bilal decision, which we'll get to in a minute. Edmund KO, Bryce Mitchell sub 53-1.
I can't do it on Bryce sub.
Okay. ZM KO, Allen sub, Bilal decision.
Nope.
Edgar decision, Luna KO, Allen sub.
Nope.
Okay. Allen sub, Iwo KO, Levitt money line. Bonfim decision, Allen sub. Wow, these guys aren't. Tafa round 1, Ziam. I think we're out on that one too, right? Tafa round 1, Ziam round 2, Luna round. Iwo sub, Bryce decision, Ziam KO. That's the best one so far.
Hold on to that one for now.
Okay, there's only one more left. Costa sub, ZM decision, Allen KO. I think it's got to be.
It's got to be this one, but it's got to be a variation of it, bro. I like the first two legs. I don't trust Zion to get a KO, but it's not bad.
Let's ask him if we can pump a different KO in there.
I kind of like just doing the first two legs.
Ewo sub and Bryce decision. What's that end up paying on Novig if we throw it out there? That's a pretty big one.
Plus 500 and plus 170. So what's that? 5-1 gives you 6 units, and then 6 times plus 170 is like
plus 1,500.
15-1. I'm down for the 15-1 if Catman's in.
What do you think, Fleet? Well, we'll wait on that, but first we'll pop up and let's talk about the main event. Alrighty, so it is main event time here, and an intriguing, maybe changing of the guard, maybe not here, between Bilal Mohammed taking on Gabriel Bonfim. We got confirmation that he is in for the super chat.
All right, he's in for 50.
And frankly, guys, we haven't hit one of these. You guys got to step up. Maybe
I know, bro.
Legs a little bit. Like we choose.
You know, it's crazy. The one week I forgot to put it in, and it would have sucked. I would have had to pay it out of pocket. I would have paid it though. I would have paid it because I would feel so bad if that happened. So I would always pay it.
We've got to the main event a couple of times and then it fell apart. But we are going to avoid it entirely with this one here. Really interesting fight. It's almost a pick-em between Muhammad, of course, the former champ here at 170, and Gabriel Bonfim, really highly regarded prospect. Matty, you and I haven't talked really about this one at all, so I have no idea where you stand on it. What do you think of this matchup, man?
Man, Bilal's just getting fed some fucking killers, bro.
He is.
I mean, it's pretty obvious here. Like, what everyone's gonna say, it's gonna be, hey, like Bilal can bring him into deep waters, or Bonfim can get a finish early. I think we have to give props to Bilal's chin, bro. He went 5 rounds with JDM and took some huge shots. I worry more about the knees and the legs of Bonfim. Like, I think if he's gonna chin Bilal, I think it's gonna be like a kick or a knee up the middle or something. I don't think Bonfim's gonna knock out Bilal with his boxing. I just think Bilal's just pretty durable overall and is obviously always in shape. The problem is Bilal's going to try to put a pace on him, and it's going to leave him open it's going to leave some openings there. That's where I think it's tough. But the other thing to look at in this fight is the odds have completely flip-flopped, I believe, right? Wasn't Bilal an underdog, and now he's a minus 130 favorite?
I'm not sure where it opened. It's been about here since Sunday, which is typically when I collect here.
Yeah. I'm really struggling with this one. I could see a Bonfim finish early or Bilal 3-4-5 or decision. But I don't have anything with conviction here for you.
Yeah. I kind of like, I think it's a slight lean toward Bonfim or pass. I say that like I didn't bet him already, but that was a plus 110. I think this is going to close closer to a pick 'em. And I just, when you look at, I think the thing that's been holding me back, because I really thought about it, is like, what could I tell everyone about what the problem is? Obviously the Ian Gary fight was a good account for Bilal. I don't think he embarrassed himself there at all.
No.
But a lot of the prior competition, Jack Della, Leon Edwards, Gilbert Burns now retired, they aren't really trending in a way where you feel really good about that result until you get back to Sean Brady. I think if you rematch Sean Brady and Bilal Muhammad today, though, the outcome could be particularly different.
It'd be closer for sure.
Yeah. And so like
Bilal was the worst stylistic matchup for Sean Brady, though. I mean, he's got elite takedown defense.
Yeah. And like Bonfim is an interesting guy in that he's certainly better than his brother. So I wouldn't hold anything about
without
his
question.
And like,
although his brother had one of the most ridiculous KOs I've ever seen against Terrence McKinney, bro. He looked like a fucking savage, and then he comes out and loses fights. It's just.
I hold the Rude Boy result that Bonfim got in a 5-rounder because, like, I think our concern was how is he going to do in 5-round fights when he was out of gas against Nicholas Dalby in about 7 or 8 minutes. But that's because he really sold out to finish that fight early. It looked like he was more patient. It looked like he had a different game plan, not like forcing his grappling in that fight. I don't think he has to here. I think he's going to have a speed advantage. I think he's a little bit more diverse, whereas Bilal is just, he so much relies on pressure to be able to box and to be able to have success there. I think if you get Bilal on his back foot, it starts to spiral quickly from him. So I've got slight leans from a analytical perspective. So get this, Bilal decision plus 180. I've got it plus 177. So almost exactly on market there. And then Bonfim, Bonfim sub plus 394 and decision plus 397. So I'm very close on those. Decision is the longer number at most sports books. If you're worried about the 5-round duration, I get it. But I think Bonfim is going to be able to keep some gas in the tank here and still compete pretty deep into this fight. And I give him a big advantage early in this fight as well. Bilal is 37. Maybe he gets chin, maybe he gets dropped at some point, but we know he's not going to go away easily. I had the fight a little bit favored, 56.2% likely to go the distance. So leaning a longer fight here, that sort of almost works against Bonfim to some people, but I do think Bonfim can compete late in this fight. So little lean on Bonfim, little lean on the over, but nothing over the top and dramatic here.
Yeah, I'm with you. I don't have a strong read here, bro.
Yeah.
This is one main event where I don't know that I'd even have action. The fight to end by KO is like plus 250, I think.
Yeah.
The argument is like Bilal's not KOing him, but like the cardio's there, the 3-4-5 with him like boxing him up late. And, he did TKO Sean Brady on the feet. But I mean, it is tough, but Bonfim does gas. Bonfim has the knees. This might be one main event where I'm like, I don't remember the last time. I don't think I've ever not been a main event, but I literally have nothing for you guys here.
Hey, Javin, I'll talk you into Bonfim by Saturday. Don't worry about it. But I think this is an interesting point from Stens 3907, Bonfim by guillotine because Bilal is going to shoot. It'll be interesting to see. We really haven't seen in UFC someone try to impose grappling on Bonfim, and he does have good front chokes. He has a good guillotine. I'm pretty sure he got it if it wasn't the Contender Series. Yeah, he got it against Munir Lazez and Trevin Giles, both the guillotine. So it is an interesting read in that dynamic is something we really haven't seen thus far. So yeah, I'm gonna have a brutal decision between sub or decision if I start to add on props here. But how good is Nicholas Dalby?
Allow by 5th round finish, bro. I gotta see what it pays.
Yeah, it kind of this weirdly almost feels like the Strickland thing, where if you like Bilal, it's obviously going to be 4-5 decision. But I don't, and I was surprised. You know what the topology percentage of like people picking Bilal in this fight is?
What?
76%.
Wow.
I usually, you guys hate old guys. I don't understand why, there's a disparity.
Bilal round 5 is 20-1. That's not even that great.
Yeah, that's like fluffy.
That's KO or sub though.
Yeah. That's like fluffy numbers though, and I don't think he's got that big of a cardio.
Well, that's what they do. Like round 3 and 4 are both the same number instead of it going up progressively.
Yeah. But like I don't The Dolby fade, it really does depend if especially if you're betting this fight live, by the way, which you can do on prediction markets and stuff now. If one FEMA really has an early flurry and empties the tank like that, really watch out for that live angle because it may cost him late. But if he's patient and sticks to his game plan, I think it's a different story. But our guy Big Maple threw it in here again. He's like, I'm not being denied. You want to read it?
Oh fuck, I love that. Ewo's round 1 sub, McGee round 1 sub. Cut it right there. Just cut it.
77-1. You gonna give him some action? He threw a third super chat in.
Yeah, I'll give him 50 on that.
All right, we'll get $50 on a 77-1 sub parlay.
I'm gonna do both. Can you just recap and telegram both of those, Austin, so I don't forget to bet them?
Yes, that is my job, and we'll handle it. But let's build some parlays, buddy.
Let's go.
All right, so we're gonna. Do you want to do our usual breakup here? We got to rip our guy a card. I'm gonna throw
what was his name again?
I'm gonna pull him up here.
All right, bet. I'm gonna share my screen in the meantime.
He said his girl was out of town, so this is how he's spending his Wednesday evening. Here he is. Here we go. That's our guy, Scrody McDongles. He asked us to rip a card. Scrody, if you're still there, bro, you gotta comment your username.
Here we go.
Yeah, okay, there it is. There's the username. So we'll get this in chat.
Let's go. Nice and quick speed today. It's a $60 pack.
It looks good. Here we go. It is. You got a Hamza card.
It's a Hamza card, but it's a shit one, bro.
Yeah, it's PSA 9, and that's closer to my Hamza card.
Still a Hamza card at the end of the day.
Mine was like a $30 card. I'm still waiting on a decent one as well.
Let's rip a gold pack, bro. I want to rip one for myself because I still want to chase this Carlos Prates card.
I gotta hit a cycle so you get me a gold pack, but that's our contractual obligation. I gotta step it up, dude. I gotta get us on track with the cycle, but I'm building in the back. Bless you.
Thank you. All right, let's try this. I'm gonna do a gold pack real quick, guys. This is on homofightcards.com. This is a $150 gold pack. I'll show you guys some of the chase cards. We got a John Jones for $3,500 of value. We got a Hamza at $2,800. Another John Jones, Carlos Prates. This is the card I want right here. $1,500 Carlos Prates.
You do want a Prates.
I want it so bad. Like, I would take that card over the $2,800 Hamza card, as sick as that sounds. All right, here we go. I'm ripping 2, by the way. I'm going back to back.
By the way, 14 of 20 for the safe part. I actually think it might be better than that. I got to go back and check. We hit again last week in Macau.
70%. Come on. Sean Strickland, PSA 9, bro.
Ooh, that's a really nice card, dude.
That's a sick. I'm mailing that. That's a sick fucking card.
That is.
It's a rookie card.
Is it really? Does he have the hair and everything?
It says rated rookie, right?
Wow.
But it doesn't look like him as a rookie, though. I'm mailing that card, bro. That's a sick card. I'm gonna go again for 150.
Nice.
Let's go. And then I'm gonna, guys, comment your collectibles username. I'm gonna rip another $60 pack for somebody. Come on. Carlos Prates. I want him smoking a cig on a card. That'd be so sick.
Do they have?
No, I don't think so. Okay. That'd be sick though.
Oh, fitting Bilal
Muhammad. Hold on, I gotta send this to Bilal real quick.
That's a cool one, dude.
I gotta send this to Bilal.
Did you rip a elite pack for this one?
That was a gold pack.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Pulled it on Fight Week, bro. That might be a sign to take the round 5 KO.
It might be a sign. I have a crazy safe parlay idea. I'm just seeing if it's on No Big right now.
Guys, comment your username if you want a $60 pack. I'm gonna pick somebody. We got another super chat. Burrito, McGee, Ewo, Ziam, Allen.
Oh,
that's
brutal.
tough, bro. That's a lot of money lines. Blah by whatever. Trade me a Hamzat. All right, we got MMA bet. W Burns, Tank Top MMA.
Tank Top was our guy that won the trivia that time. We gave Emmett a card last week. We got let's go with this one here.
Which one?
Let's go Canes fan 136.
All right, Canes fan.
I just want to spread it around, guys. It's not that I preclude you, but
I'm ripping him a $60 pack right now. We got 5 in here, bro. We'll pick one more, Austin. I'm ripping another pack for somebody.
Okay.
Just make sure to write these down for me, son.
Oh, well, the easy choice. We got an E-Ray Upsman. We got a super chat in there as well.
All right, perfect.
Well, I'll come back to that.
There we go.
Canes fan 136 first.
Come on. Conor McGregor, PSA 10, bro.
Man, another McGregor card.
Dude, that is it's not the most expensive card in the world, but that is a sick fucking card, dude. That's a gem.
Bro, that's the debut origin set that I have with this.
I just like that the image, bro. That's a sick photo.
Yeah, that's like a debut sort of line that they have.
Dude, you better hold that card, bro. If he starches Max Holloway on International Fight Week, bro.
I don't know.
We gotta get Connor to sign that shit, dude. That's a sick card. I kind of wish that was my card.
I don't know, bro. I feel like
yeah, no, I know, but all right. Who's this one for?
And then we got our super chat guy here, E-Ray Upsman. This will be the last one.
E-Ray, this is for you, bro. $60 pack. Let's go. I'm having fun, bro. I kind of just keep ripping.
Feel free to ship one my way, bro.
There's been some sick cards today, bro. We've had such bad luck. Today's been nasty.
We're on a heater.
Yeah, it's gonna be a good weekend.
I got him a great
Patty the Patty, bro.
Yeah, dude, let's go. We are on a roll.
Right, these are some sick cards today. All right, pick another one, bro. Or no, this one's for you, Austin.
Okay,
this one's for you, bro.
Well, I appreciate.
No, I'm giving you a one. I'm giving you a 150, bro.
I didn't need a cycle though.
I'm giving you a 150. You deserve it. Your safe parlay is 14 of 20. You deserve a fucking 150, bro.
I got to go back and look up exactly what it is because it's been a crazy run since like basically we started doing the show again.
Hold on. As long as it lets me.
Look, dude,
I gotta save some of these 150s for the Friday show. Oh yeah. Fuck, dude. Wait, did it already buy one?
Yeah, where'd your balance go?
Hold on.
We got a comment. The packs are actually opening tonight, so keep going.
Oh, fuck, dude. All right, I lied, Austin. I'm giving you a 60, but I'll give you a 150 next week because I got to save that 151 for Friday.
Okay. I'm great. Like the people in chat, I'm grateful for everybody.
All right. We'll do a 151 next week.
Yeah. And if I get a protest, I'll happily transfer it to you, bro. After what he did to my Jack bet.
Yeah, that's true. I need that protest card, bro. He cashed me for 30K. And I was down 30K on that card, bro. Yeah. Protest saved my day like crazy.
Just like old school cards, we could trade them. I could look through your collection, see if you have one you'd be willing to part with.
Yeah, I got to do. We should actually do that on stream. I have so many cards, bro. I got to ship some of them here. I still haven't yet to do that. This is your $60 card.
Hey, okay, here we go. I got 230s. Let's give me something. Come on. I got
Matt
Frivola, baby.
I like Matt Frivola, bro. He's a G.
I do. He's a dog. I had him against Drew Dober. I had like a 2.5 unit bet.
That was a sick read.
And I remember that he was a dog in that fight, so I'll take.
Look at all these cards I have, bro. I have 35 cards. Well, I have like 30 because I had to give some of these away. But
we got a Steamroller chat. Yeah, shout out Steamroller.
I don't even know what my best card is. I don't like that you can't see the values on these. I don't know. Oh, dude, I have an Ilya card here.
PSA 10.
Bro, I gotta ship some of these fucking cards here. I don't know because you can't. After 7 days, you can't trade it. You can't sell it back. I got a Connor Panini Prism here. Oh, yeah, it does say. It says I can sell that one. That's weird.
We did. We ripped that last week, bro. That's
MVP. Oh yeah, you're right. Yeah. These are all last week.
Cormier.
DC. Hold on. Let me go back to the beginning.
DC is one of my favorite fighters of all time. I'd want to rip a DC card for sure.
There's gotta be.
These dudes just fight.
Oh, that's Brian Ortega. Here's the yeah, okay, so that's all of them. All right.
We do need maybe we'll reach out to collectibles. We need to sort by value We need to sort by value tab there to see the big ones at the top. But
Yeah.
all right,
that'd be cool.
Maddie, I have an absolutely absurd, ridiculous safe parlay for you. Then
Let's go.
All right, you ready?
Is it Bryce Mitchell money line?
Bryce Mitchell money line. Iwo Tafa doesn't go the distance. In and out -110.
Wait, what was the second leg?
Iwo Tafa doesn't go the distance.
Oh yeah, just lock it in.
You and I were so confident in Bryce Mitchell. I was like, I want to get creative. I don't want to throw it in there, so I'm going to throw it in.
Let's go.
And this will be my Bryce Mitchell exposure for the week.
But I feel like I got to do a sub special for the show, bro. Yes. I mean, we got to go Ewo, and then we need to agree on a second one, bro. Give me a second sub that you like, that you know that I already like.
You like Ewo first?
Yeah, we need a second.
What about Ketlin Souza or
what else you got?
McGee
and Ewo, 100%. I'm so down.
That was our guy. Big.
It's 35-1, bro. 35-1. Ewo and McGee. It's done.
Okay. We've had some success.
Don't even overthink it, bro. You know, back in the day before the cycle was born, these little 2-leg method of victory parlays used to smack so much for me, bro. I would take like 2 subs or a KO and a sub, nice little 2-leggers. Instead of taking 7 money lines to get 30-1, you pick 2 fighters to win by an outcome and you get the same price, bro. It's great.
So, all right, so I'm going to throw it up there. Safe parlay, Bryce Mitchell, money line, Tafa Baranuski doesn't go the distance. She slapped those together for -110. Kind of a cheapy safe parlay, but then we got the long shot. Marcus McGee sub, Iwo Baranuski sub 35-1. We're all in on the Polish hammer this week with Iwo Baranuski as well. Man, that was a fun show, bro. We got 7.
Great, bro.
It's 7 listed minutes, probably about 15, 20 minutes, game 1 of the NBA Finals, which is why we moved up today's show. We still had over 1,100 live viewers. You guys are the best. It was fun ripping packs with you guys. We'll get those transferred over if you want a card. But if not, hang around. Next week, not only are we going to have our show, we'll preview all 7 UFC White House cards. It is 7 fights now, right, Matty? I think they added the Lewis one. It's 7 total fights.
Mark my words. I have a crazy feeling they're going to add an 8th fight after this weekend if a fighter comes in, wins in the first round. Probably will never happen, but I have a weird feeling about it.
Bryce Mitchell gets a tap in round 1 and they invite him out to the
Who else could it be? There's another fight. I don't know. I think that's probably the most likely. Bryce Mitchell not in the USA card's crazy, bro.
Yeah, I agree. Maybe they'll fix
it
or whatever.
If you guys want your USA merch, go get that right now. Homofight.com. If you guys order this week, you'll have all your merch in for next week. Yep. We got some hats. We got shirts. We got all sorts of shit on here, guys. I think it came out pretty sick. It's homofight.com. Go to the merch section. They're like $40, bro. Support the show. Support the brand. Get you some sick merch for next week so you can rock it for the White House card.
Yeah, absolutely. And we'll do, of course, our Wednesday show, and then probably keep an eye on our social media feeds. We'll do an extra trivia show somewhere, whether it's after our show, whether we do it a different day. We got to do a trivia show and give some Homo Fight merch away as well. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Unfortunately, that is all for us tonight. Enjoy game 1 of the finals tonight if you're going to watch the NBA. Enjoy all the action there, and then we will see you again next week for a really fun special week for UFC.
Peace out, everybody.
See you guys.